up, people of YouTube? This is Cullis here.
What's up, people of YouTube? It's Cullis here, back for another deck profile of this series of deck profile videos that we have here. We've been starting to make a few more decks. We just made a rush deck. Thinking about making another control deck because, I mean, I love this one that I'm about to profile, but I like to mess around with other things a bunch too. But right now, let's do this control deck. It's the Water Dark Light control deck if you haven't already saw it. And it's pretty much done. Just changes here and there if it doesn't work ever, but it's always worked for me because, yeah, it's just always been good. First we'll start off with the light section. Start off with creatures as always, then spells. And then I'll explain what else I can do with it and what I might do. Okay. First we have 3 Sun-stalk Seeds because it's a really good blocker in the beginnings. As you have your cheap blockers. And we have one that nobody really uses, Keeper of Twilight, because, I mean, yeah, Comet Missile's a card, but I don't play around Comet Missile set, but this guy can only get pitted, and like Razorkinder, he can't get hit by Bone Blades, so he's already better than those. I said about not playing around a card, but like I see too many blockers get Bone Blades, so this is like a guy that they can't get around, and I can beat their finisher with if I get a Holy Awe, Stormspark Blast, and it can get over a bunch of things that just get in my way. Yep, that's it for the blockers really. Might add some more, but here's the main reason for light. He's amazing. Keeper of Dawn, of course. He's really awesome. Really almost a staple in most light decks, except not. And the last creature is Orion. Teched in. He's amazing. He always does good. I mean, I've gotten out in a few duels, and it seems like every time I bring him out, they always have at least 3 creatures on the field that I can kill. He's an awesome finisher, and he fills that 9 spot that I always want to fill. And for the only spell, Stormspark Blast, one of the best light spells, probably the best light spell. Some more cards I can add to the light section. I've been thinking about possibly Recharge, because this deck can get behind a little bit if it has a slow start, because as you will see, there are a bunch of 4s in this deck. So that's why I've questioned about Recharge. And another blocker I could probably put is Star Lantern, because he blocks technically 2 creatures, if you want to put it that way. He just taps down the other one, but he's still a really good blocker that I've been thinking about him putting in there. But the rest of that is just Recharge and Star Lantern. What's another blocker but slash thing? Ravu. Ravu is another one I could put as a finisher, because there's not too many finishers in this deck, and Ravu, not being like the strongest finisher, because 6500 can get over a few finishers, but not the ones that I really want to hit. Maybe Bulgash, but that's really it though. He's just a good blocker though also. Okay, so now for the dark section. The dark section has been twiddled around with a bit, and it has just become a standard kind of fill. Like, this might be a little questionable, but we're going with creatures. Screeching Scaradorable. Been really awesome in this sort of meta, if you will. This localized meta. Because everybody's using evolutions. This guy kills the evolutions. He also kills blockers, and he can go in for the kill. I've been putting him in I have a Dark Fire Rush deck. He's been pretty cool in that. But in this deck he also works like tons well. Like if I want to hit their finisher and they like dependent on a blocker, hit it. Or if they're like dependent on Eat Bobet, then hit it. It's just really all around good. 2's just been awesome for me. I might take out 1 for a light card because the light section is not the biggest, but these guys have just been working really well. On to the next section. On to more of this section. More creatures. Razorkinder Puppet, best discard in the game right now, besides Skull Shatter. It's one of the more key ones. And the last one, which is a finisher of this deck, Dark Scaradorable. Can't stress how good he's gotten. I wasn't too excited for this guy because he's not too exciting like when you think of how the games go, but he's just, well, to me at least, but he's just been really good. I mean, I got into it because really I watched a bunch of other people like it, like a local store or on YouTube videos, play with this guy, and he's just been awesome there, and I just thought, I'll try him out, and he's just been awesome here, as I thought. Now we go into spells. We have one Dark Return. Tried two, got really clunky, and only one's really good because you can easily recycle it or whatever and stuff, if you really want to. And of course, Bone Blades. We're in a triple Bone Blades type of play because there's so many 4 and lesses again. We have, as there's always been, we have 3 terabits, best removal in the game, one of the best removals in the games. For water section now, this water section has been really fun to deal with, really fun to mess around with, but it's been really good also. We have 2 Cyber Traders, gets through the deck fast really. I haven't seen too many control decks use it, but it's a really good second turn play that I've just been loving, and it's good at 2 in this deck because it's just like 3. I just don't want to see it like as often as I would want to. And yeah, he gets through the deck fast, and you can ditch spells in the beginning. Like if you play him second turn, ditch spells for later, like a Terrapin or something, but it's not like too good, but it's not like something you want to do, but if it's something you have to do, then yeah, do it. I'm just saying it's a good card. And we have 2 promo Aqua Seneschals, because Aqua Seneschal, also one of the better draws in the game, at the 3rd turn mark, which you will not see many 3rd turns in this deck, which I've been trying to put in. Less 4th turn and some more 3rd turn things. We have 2 Rusalka, because Rusalka is just awesome. He just gains you so much like momentum afterwards. You put him down, bounce their guy that has to attack. Is almost better than Blown Blades, but no, it's not. It's really good though. It doesn't really work after so long, after later in the game, which is why we have another creature in this deck. We have 2 Reef Prince Gargoyle. Been really good at 5th turn. Don't play him too much anymore, which is sometimes why I think about taking him out, but I don't know. He's just been pretty awesome. Maybe take him out in the future. I don't know. But it's just something to delve on. Delver. Anyways, we have 2 Miliporo. Tried it out at 1. Didn't work too well because I didn't see it too often. 7th turn. Just been awesome at 2 because 7th turn, take him back a turn, waste a turn, but you also get a creature. It's just too good, really. And at 7th turn just made him perfect this game, to be honest. 5th turn was broke. 7th turn is perfect. Our last, individual creature we have is Waterspout Gargoyle, because awesome late game, puts the icing on the cake in the end. It's just like they put down 2 creatures thinking if he hits a trigger, he will be done for. And then I'm just like, Waterspout Gargoyle. And they're like, well, I can't win now. And then, yeah, just really the icing on the cake, and he's just really awesome. 2 Emperor Neuron. As you've seen, there's 8. There's 8 Cyber Lords in this deck, which I thought Emperor Neuron would be amazing, because he's a pseudo finisher and he bumps with a bunch of things that I can't really kill that well. Since this deck can't run Tornado Flame unless I splash fire, which I don't know how that would work, but I could splash fire with Gale Flames, Tornado Flames, and Barrage, but that's the only things, and those are like the best cards out of Fire, but these guys are pretty good for doing that with like hitting things that you really can't aim for at the time, and they just gain you so much value when you attack with them, which you're probably almost always going to do once you play them. You don't want to play them like really aggressively with this deck, but if you have to, you have to. You draw cards, you draw cards. That's really what this whole water section is really all about. Even the Rusalkas that sometimes can want you pseudo draw you cards. Speaking of drawing cards, by the way, we have 3 logo scan, because logo scan, yeah, I took out the shield trigger drawing 2 cards because like I have too many 4s, and I'm just like, when I have it, I just feel like I have too many 4s to play. Why should I keep this in? And I already want more options on my 3rd turn instead of my 4th turn. I'd rather have more options 3rd turn than I had 4th turn, which is kind of weird, but I could see me liking that more than having more 3rd turn plays than 4th turn. Speaking of 4th turn, we have 2 Veil Vortex, which more bounce, more Rusalkas to have that are recyclable, and it stops those like slow finishers, of course, because this deck does have problems with like I guess it really only has problems like if hyperspeed gets off, which doesn't really happen most of the time against this deck nowadays. And I'm forgetting the dragon. Bolt Tail, and if hyperspeed goes off, that's the only real problems. And sometimes the Fire Dark Water control matchup. Sometimes. We have ourselves 1 Tecton Crystal Memory. Probably 2, because Crystal Memory is amazing. It's just really gets me everything. Like, if my opponent hits this first shield, or I play it 4th turn and they don't have much, I might have just stabilized by casting this spell. Yeah, that's how it is in this deck, really. Crystal Memory. Search out for your good things. It's actually at League the other time I was playing this deck because it was the time when we were drafting, and I was playing a few games with this deck before, and I Crystal Memoried for a Razorkinder Puppet, and he was playing DFW. He played Razorkinder Puppet, so he had to get my Razorkinder Puppet. Then I drew another one and decided to play something different, like drawing me cards or whatever. And then he played another Razorkinder Puppet, and he had to Razorkinder my Razorkinder Puppet again, and like miss out on all my tear pits and finishers. So that kind of won me the game there. This card is so good though. Search out for anything you want. Awesome. You should just run it always in water, to be honest. It can win you games sometimes. Most of the time. But yeah, this is one of the decks out of the many decks that we will be doing out of these days that we record, or I record, whenever Tom comes over or whatever. But yeah, this is it for this deck. Leave your comments about it in the section. Check out the other channels that Texas has to offer, if you haven't already. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.